Bob Marley once sang, "Open your eyes and look within. Are you satisfied with the life you're living?" Going through some tough times right now. And it seems like one trauma, one tragedy after another. But I've got this peace within me, this calm. Now it gets tested. Oh, believe me, these past few days, it's been tested a lot. I think the reason you can't force a spiritual awakening or a relationship with God is because you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for what you have to do. Now, we think we can't go on sometimes. We think that a lot, maybe. And it's just times like the one I'm going through. Both my parents having really bad health scares. My wife's aunt really having a bad health scare. You know, I have to drive up and see them. But I'm not scared like I was. I'm not scared all the time and frustrated all the time. Of course, I don't enjoy times like this. Nobody does. That's not what it's about. Not everything is made for your entertainment, for your satisfaction, for your joy. We get put in seemingly impossible situations so much, but yet we make it out the other side, so it's not that impossible. We just put this stuff in our head that we can't take it, we can't do it. I don't know how to deal with one tragedy after another. And I know it's easy to say, well, look at people in war, look at people in third world countries who are suffering just every day on a daily basis. It's easy to say that. Of course, somebody has it worse than you all the time. There's only one person in the world who has it the worst, and God bless that person. Poor man or woman, or boy or girl, wherever they are. God bless them. I just wish we could all give them a hug, you know? I really do think we have to look into our soul. And we have to ask, what kind of life will make us happy? What in life would make us happy? We might not get a say in it, but what are you doing now? What are you doing to change the world to make it more like the one you want? I know when I was asked questions like this before, it was always, well, I just wanted to, you know, have enough money to not care, live in the woods, be able to go out in nature all I wanted to, obviously have my wife and my girls, watch them grow up, just be happy with it all. But you don't get what you want in this life. You can. There's something to that new age spirituality manifesting reality. It's called focus, it's called dedication, it's called purpose. You got to go after what you want. But I'm telling you, if your answer when asked what makes you happy or what would make you happy in life is just nothing but material things, just like my answer was, you got a lot of soul searching to do. Because you can get those things, yeah, anything like that, you know, unless you have some crazy, crazy rich taste. You're out there just living it up. You want to be a multi-billionaire. That's just ridiculous, though. But you can get to a wealthy lifestyle. You can do it. Not all of us can. Some of us are in a bind, but it's just limits we put on ourselves. You put the dedication into it, you'll be a millionaire. You'll be well off. You'll have that FU money, you know? Not the kind of FU money that us poor people have. Us poor people have the FU money that is just, yeah, FU, right? That's the money I have. If you want some FU money, come see me. I'll tell you how to do it real quick. We are in a world where we cannot control what happens next. But what happens next is necessary. What happens next is absolutely in God's plan. And you might not believe in God, and I get it. We've been over this. There is a script, yet there is free will. So how does that even work? I can't remember his name. A great theologian, I guess he is. And he was asked that question. It's all God's plan, and we have free will. What's the deal? Well, he explained it like, you really want to see a football game, right? So you record the football game, and then you have to watch it later, but you, right before you get home, the news comes on real quick before you can shut it off and says, oh, your team won. Your team won. This was the score. Of course, God knows the ending. God is outside of time and space. God knows everything. And we have the free will to decide whether we're going to be part of that plan or not. He already knows which we'll choose. He already knows because he's already lived it. He's lived everything that's ever happened. Yeah, you can't really relate to that, can you? That's why he sent Christ. You need someone you can relate to. The man who is God. He's showing you, look, I know you're going to go through suffering. I know you're going to suffer so much. You're not going to be able to, you think you're done. You think you can't take it. You think, how can I go on one more second like this? In this life that just keeps beating me and beating me and beating me over the head, where I'm concussed and I can't even see straight, but somehow I've got to go on. But look at what God did for us. He said, I know that you're going to suffer. I know. And I don't want you to, but it is part of the plan. And just to show you how much I love you, I will make myself flesh and I will suffer. And I will die for you and all the sins. But you can walk in my light. You can walk in my truth. And I know it is eye-rolling when you hear it and you're going through it and you're like, oh, not this again. You think I haven't been there? I've been there for most of my life. I wanted to find God so bad. I didn't ever think it was going to happen after a while. So I just gave up. You know, I still had signs of hope. I still had enough hope to keep me going, because God will give you that hope to keep you going. You have to find it. But you can find Him when you need Him. When you truly are ready to let go. And what do you think all those alcoholics and drug addicts and people that just suffer in every way imaginable, millions have found this out. Millions. You can watch movie after movie, still read story after story about it. He'll save you. It is the most beautiful thing imaginable. Because let me tell you, as much as I suffer, maybe my wife and my loved ones, my sister, my parents, maybe they all suffer more. He gave me the light. He gave me the hope to bring to those that I love. But guess what? I can't help everyone that I love. I can't help all of you. Maybe I can't help anyone. I don't know. All I can do is try. Keep bringing that light that's shining right above my head. Keep bringing the light. Keep living in the peace of the Holy Spirit. Now look, my wife has suffered so much in her life too. She lost her mom a little over a year ago in January or February. And she grew up tough. I'm not going to tell you all these personal things about my wife, but I'm going to tell you she grew up tough. She grew up with no running water or indoor plumbing. And as strong as that made her, she was on her own at the age of 16. As strong as that made her, that also gave her, like maybe so many of you, like it was doing to me, it gave you a fear, it gave you a spitefulness, and it gave you an anger. And I understand, because why would you be happy with living in poverty all your life, and then you try to dig yourself out? But nope. You know, I'm sure things were going great. You know, I had a good paying job, I had a steady job, a career. She was doing jobs that she liked. We had it great. It was going great. We got to travel all the time, got to do all these things that she didn't get to used to do when she was a child. And we got to just live and love life. And we thought, this is the greatest. And then my back went out. And then all that security, all that hope that was building just vanished. And I wanted so badly to tell her it was going to be okay, but I didn't know it was going to be okay. How was I going to tell her that? How am I going to comfort her when I have no clue whether it's going to be okay either? So she has known me since 2001, so 23 years. I'm not good with the maths. She has known me that long. And a large majority of that time, I was godless. I had no guidance from the Holy Spirit, from Christ. I had no guidance at all. I was so scared. She had to take care of me and just do what she could for me. Thank the Lord I was able to actually move and get around. But now my sister has to take care of my mom and my parents. And she's stuck one thing after another. My dad was just in the hospital, and now my mom today was in the hospital. Nobody was there with her, so she checked herself out. And now she's even worse. You know, she's paralyzed, a stroke patient, got 50,000 autoimmune diseases, mysterious illnesses all the time. So these two women that I love, my wife and my sister, if I wouldn't have been saved, how would I comfort them? How? What would I say? Oh, we're cursed, you know, just that's what we used to say, we're cursed. Because it's just one bad thing. When you live basically just above the poverty line where we were, you feel like you're cursed. A lot. Most of us do. Because every problem is amplified by the fact that you have no money to do the things you need to do. You have no money. The cars aren't working. Who's going to watch the dog? The dogs are sick and dying too. You know, what about the kids? They can't take them. You know, there's always one thing after another. But I found since I lived with my wife, and I known my wife for 23 years, she's known me most of the time as an ego-driven. I tried not to be selfish. I tried to live a selfless life just because that's how my father taught me to be. But it just chipped away at me so long, and you know, when she would get angry, then I would get angrier than her. And then we would just yell back and forth at each other. Sometimes, a lot of times in front of the kids, be yelling at each other over something so stupid and so ridiculous. We didn't even know what it was. It was a deep anger, a deep spite at life, at God, at everything. And it was hell. It really was. But since I was like that for so long, and I was saved, and I work to help as many of you as I can, and as many of my friends and my family as I can, the ones that have known me, sometimes, especially like Sarah did, my wife, you need someone else to help them. So there's a wonderful lady who was born again, and she is one of the kindest ladies I've ever met. And she has kind of taken my wife under her wing. And I prayed so hard for that, because that is the guidance that she needs. She doesn't need it from me, her idiot husband, who, you know, screwed up, didn't know what to do, was lost, got us into financial troubles because we couldn't pay our bills. She didn't need that. She needed someone with a fresh perspective. But we all sometimes need a fresh perspective. We all have these biases about people, about things. It's just human nature. It's just what we do. Until you can be born again, be saved by God, and that trauma, that fear, that anxiety, all of it can be lifted from your very soul. And I promise you it can happen. I promise you it will happen if you seek it. But you'll get doubts, and you'll stop, and you'll wonder why. And you'll get angrier because you tried and nothing's happening. But you have to keep trying. You have to keep asking him. If I was in this situation 2 years ago, and it was getting about this bad, but not quite this bad, I don't know what I would have done. It would have been too much for me. You know, looking from the outside, it seems like too much for anyone. Although you look at people who, like I said, go to war, go to, just have like one tragedy after another their whole life. And our lives can't even compare to that. You look at them, and some of them, it's that pressure. We're that coal under that pressure, and it just squeezes us so tight, and we're like, why are you doing this? And then all of a sudden, you are a diamond. And you shine. And you're beautiful. You're already beautiful, but you see your beauty. Because that pressure has brought the inner beauty out. That suffering has brought the inner beauty out. You've overcome it. You're not scared of life or death. When you're not scared of death, what's left to scare you? Not much. But there's always that lingering doubt in your mind. Well, I do believe in God, but I'm just not sure, if there's an afterlife. I'm not sure if we're being lied to. I'm not Go and build a relationship with God. There's no way around it. That's the only way you're going to find the peace. You can get structure. You can do a lot of things without first finding God. You can build yourself up. And if that's what you're supposed to do, then God will let you. But if you just keep hitting that brick wall, that is him telling you, come to me. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting here. I love you, my child. His love is, you can't even describe it in words. It's not like being loved by anyone. It is like being loved by everyone and everything. It is like a warm blanket around your freezing soul. So please, even if you don't like Christianity, even if you don't like whatever, go yourself and find him, because it's the only way. I'm sorry, I'm so, it seems like so many of these videos are so melancholy, I guess, because that's what I'm here for you. I don't want to be sad and depressing, but I know we have to go through this. We have to get through it, because I'm telling you, though I still have all this happening, I still feel like the wealthiest person in the world. Not only do I want to, I'm required to spread that wealth. That wealth, it might be mine, but it's not mine. It's not just mine. It'll keep growing and growing and growing as you spend it. Doing kind things for people, making them smile, helping the old lady across the road, that is all great stuff, and you should absolutely do that. But I'm telling you, it's those deeper things that we all have to dig down so far for. If you can help somebody who maybe wants to end their life, and you can show them the miracle and the beauty, or you can be that parent that you wanted to be, you can love your wife or husband like you want to, and it doesn't matter what comes next. It doesn't, because that peace is an armor for you. And the stronger your faith is, the stronger that armor is. And when it's strong, nothing can touch you. I love you all. We'll talk soon. God bless.